What if I told you that you do not need a speaking partner to become fluent in English? What if I told you that your bedroom, your kitchen, your daily commute can all become English classrooms? And what if the loneliest practice sessions are actually the most powerful ones?
Most learners believe that without someone to talk to, they cannot improve their speaking. So they wait. They wait for a partner. They wait for a class. They wait for the perfect condition. And while they are waiting,
they stay exactly where they are.
Today, we are ending that wait because everything you need to practice English speaking, you already have, right now, at home, alone.
We are going to give you 8 powerful methods that actually work. But here is the thing. Method number 7 is the one that most people never try, and it is the one that works the fastest. So stay with us until we get there.
Welcome to English Flow Podcast. I'm William.
And I'm Sarah. And if you have ever said, I want to improve my English, but I have no one to practice with, this episode was made for you. Every part of it.
Subscribe to English Flow Podcast right now if you have not already, and let us begin. Because the sooner you start, the sooner everything changes.
Let us flow. Part 1. Before we get into the methods, I need to say something that might surprise you.
What is that?
Practicing alone is not a second option. It is not the lesser choice. For many learners, it is actually the better starting point.
Really? Better than having a partner?
Think about it. When you practice with another person, there is pressure. There is judgment, real or imagined. There's the fear of looking unintelligent, the fear of wasting their time, the fear of making a mistake in front of someone.
And that fear, it shuts the brain down.
Exactly. That fear shuts the brain down. But when you are alone, there is no audience, no judgment, no consequence. And in that safe space, the brain opens up. It takes risks. It tries things. It practices freely.
I remember when I first started practicing alone, I felt a bit silly, talking to myself, saying English words out loud in an empty room.
And then?
And then, after a few weeks, I noticed that my speaking had improved more in those weeks than in the previous 6 months of classes.
Because practicing alone is consistent, every day, without scheduling, without waiting for someone else to be available, without the social pressure that silences so many learners.
Alone practice is powerful, and today we are going to show you exactly how to make it work.
Method 1. The mirror technique. And yes, this means standing in front of a mirror and speaking English to yourself.
People always laugh when they hear this, but it works.
It works because the mirror gives you an audience, yourself. And something interesting happens when you see your own face. You become more self-aware. You pay attention to your expressions, your mouth, your confidence.
So what do I actually say? What do I do in front of the mirror?
Start simple. Introduce yourself. Hello, my name is William. I am from, and say your city. I work as, and say your job or study. I enjoy, and say something you love.
Hello, my name is William. I am from a small city. I work in education, and I enjoy learning new languages.
Yes, that is it. And as you do it, notice how you look. Are you confident? Are you making eye contact with yourself? Are you smiling?
Because if you cannot make eye contact with yourself in a mirror, it is a sign that you need to work on your confidence, not just your vocabulary.
And the mirror practice builds both at the same time. The more you do it, the more natural it feels. And when it feels natural in the mirror, it starts to feel natural in real conversations.
How long should I do this?
5 minutes a day. That is all. 5 minutes every morning. Before work, before school. Just 5 minutes. And within 2 weeks, you will feel a real difference.
Try it today, even if it feels silly, especially if it feels silly, because the silliness fades and the confidence remains.
Method 2. And this one is the simplest, the most available, and one of the most effective things you can do for your English every single day.
What is it?
Talk to yourself, out loud, in English, all day.
We have said this before on the podcast, and people always laugh, and then they try it, and they cannot believe how much it helps.
Because when you talk to yourself out loud, you are doing the most important thing in language learning. You are producing English in real time,
without preparation, without a script, without anyone to help you.
And how does it actually work? What do you say?
You narrate your day. You are making breakfast. I am making eggs this morning. I am going to add some cheese. I think this is going to be delicious.
You are choosing clothes. Should I wear the blue shirt or the gray one? I think the blue one. It looks more professional.
You are walking to the bus stop. It is quite cold today. I should have worn a thicker coat. The sky looks like it might rain later.
You are in the supermarket. I need to get milk and eggs and bread. Do I need anything else? I think that is everything.
Every one of those moments, every little internal commentary, you can say it in English, out loud, or in a whisper if you are in public. Your brain does not care. It just hears the English, and it practices.
I do this on my commute. I narrate what I see, the buildings, the people, the weather, and I think in English and speak in English the whole journey.
Start tomorrow morning. The moment you wake up, say one thing in English out loud. Just one thing. I am awake. It is time to start the day. And build from there.
Method 3, and this is the one most people avoid because it is uncomfortable, but it is one of the most transformative things you can do.
Recording yourself?
Record yourself speaking English on your phone. Just press record and speak.
The first time I did this, I hated the sound of my voice. I wanted to stop immediately.
Almost everyone feels that way. But then something happens when you listen back.
What happens?
You hear things you cannot hear when you are speaking. You notice where you hesitate, where you repeat the same word too many times, where your pronunciation drops, where your sentence structure breaks down.
And you also hear things you did well, which is just as important.
Yes, most learners are shocked to discover their English is better than they thought. They expected terrible, and they heard actually quite good.
So what should I record myself saying?
Describe your day. Record a pretend phone call. Introduce yourself as if meeting someone new. Answer imaginary interview questions. Tell a story about something that happened to you recently.
Like, today was a really interesting day. I woke up late because my alarm did not go off, and then I had to rush to get ready. And I forgot my keys, and the whole morning was a bit chaotic.
That is perfect. A real story, real English, real expression. And when you listen back, you will hear yourself improving, week by week, month by month.
Save your recordings. From today, 1 month from now, listen to the first one and the most recent one side by side.
And that gap, that difference between the two, that is your proof that alone practice works, that your effort is paying off, that you are growing. Method 4, and this one is a game changer for pronunciation and fluency: shadowing.
Shadowing. What exactly is that?
Shadowing means you listen to a native speaker talking, and you repeat exactly what they say at the same time as they say it, like a shadow following someone, exactly behind them.
Not after they finish speaking, at the same time.
At the same time, or just a fraction of a second behind. You match their speed, their rhythm, their intonation, their stress patterns, everything.
How do I start? What do I listen to?
Listen to this podcast. Listen to a film scene you love. Listen to a TED Talk. Listen to a YouTube video with someone speaking naturally.
And you do not need to understand every word. In fact, in the beginning, just match the sounds, the rhythm, the music of the language.
Because English has a rhythm, a beat, a melody. And when you shadow, you absorb that rhythm into your body, into your mouth, into your breath.
I used to shadow scenes for my favorite film, the same scene over and over, maybe 20 times, and people started commenting that my pronunciation had improved.
Because it had, shadowing builds pronunciation faster than almost any other technique, because you are not just hearing correct pronunciation, you are physically practicing it. Your mouth is learning.
Try it today. Take any 30 seconds of natural English audio. Listen once, then listen again and shadow. Match every word, every pause, every rise and fall.
It will feel strange at first. That is normal. It feels strange because your mouth is doing something new, and new is exactly where growth happens. Method 5, and this one takes advantage of something you already have in your pocket.
My phone?
Your phone. Specifically, your phone's voice assistant. Siri, Google Assistant, Alexa, Cortana, whichever one you have.
I never thought of using a voice assistant for English practice.
Here's the thing about voice assistants. They only understand you if you speak clearly, if your pronunciation is correct,
if your words are natural.
So they are like a real-time pronunciation test.
Exactly. If you speak clearly, the assistant understands you and responds. If you mumble or mispronounce, it gets confused or gives you the wrong answer.
Like, ask your phone to set a timer, ask it the weather, ask it to play a song, all in English, and see if it understands you.
And it gives you instant feedback. Not well done, not good effort. Just did it understand or not, which is honest, real, and very useful.
You can also use speech to text. Speak into your phone and watch what it types. If it types the wrong word, your pronunciation needs work on that word.
Try it with difficult words you struggle with, and keep saying them until the phone gets it right.
Your phone is a free English pronunciation coach, and it is available every hour of every day. You have no excuse not to practice.
Method 6, and this one is beautifully simple. Read out loud.
Just read, but out loud?
Yes, take anything. A book, a news article, a recipe, a blog post, anything written in English. And instead of reading it silently in your head, say the words out loud.
Why does that help?
Because reading silently is purely receptive. You take the language in, but reading aloud is productive. You produce the language. Your mouth moves, your voice works, your pronunciation gets practice.
And you also train yourself to connect written English to spoken English, which many learners keep completely separate.
Some learners can read English very well, but when they see the same word in a conversation, they freeze because they have never said it out loud.
I know so many words I could read but could never say, because I had only ever seen them, never spoken them.
Reading aloud fixes that. Every word you read aloud, you practice saying, and practicing saying it connects the written word to the spoken word. They become one thing.
How long should I do this?
10 minutes a day. That is genuinely enough. 10 minutes of reading aloud every day. And within a month, your fluency will noticeably improve.
Pick something you actually enjoy reading. Not a textbook, a story you love, an article about something that interests you. Because when the content is interesting, you practice longer without noticing.
Find one article today, or one page of a book, and read it out loud. Not perfectly, not with an accent, just out loud, in your real voice, in English. That is enough. Method 7. And this is the one we promised you at the beginning. The one most people never try. The one that works the fastest.
Finally, what is it?
Role-playing, but alone. Completely alone.
Role-playing? By myself?
Yes. You play both characters in a conversation. You speak one side, then you change and speak the other side. Both voices, both perspectives, both in English.
Can you give me an example?
You are practicing a job interview. You say, "Tell me about yourself." Then you move slightly, and you answer, "Of course, my name is Sarah. I have been working in education for 5 years." Then you move back, and you say, "And what would you say is your greatest strength?" Then you move and answer.
You are having a conversation with yourself.
You are having a conversation with yourself. And it sounds silly, but here is what happens inside your brain.
What happens?
Your brain has to think like two different people, the questioner and the responder, the listener and the speaker. And doing both, alternating rapidly, builds mental agility in English. The speed of your thinking in English increases dramatically.
I tried this before an important presentation. I practiced the whole thing as a dialogue. The audience asking questions, me answering, back and forth for 30 minutes.
And how did the real presentation go?
The questions felt familiar because I had already asked them and answered them. The real thing felt easier than the practice.
This is why actors learn lines by playing all the parts, why athletes mentally rehearse every scenario. When you have already experienced something in your mind, the real version feels less scary.
What situations can you role play alone?
A job interview, ordering food at a restaurant, checking into a hotel, a phone call to a doctor, meeting someone new at a party, having a disagreement with a colleague, giving your opinion in a meeting.
Any conversation you might have in real life, you can rehearse alone first.
And when the real conversation comes, and it will come, you will feel something surprising. You will feel, I have been here before. I know what to say, because in some way, you already have. Method 8, the final method. And this one ties everything together. Use English every day, in small ways, in the world around you.
What does that mean?
Change your phone language to English. Write your to-do list in English.
Set your reminders in English. Label things in your home with sticky notes in English.
Think your grocery list in English. Count things around you in English. Describe the weather in English when you step outside.
Watch one YouTube video in English every day, even if it is 3 minutes long. Listen to an English podcast during your commute, even if it is just this one.
These small things do not feel like practice. They feel like just living, but your brain is absorbing English the whole time.
The brain builds language the way water shapes stone, not in one dramatic moment, but in thousands of small moments, every day, over time.
And the beautiful thing about these small daily moments is that they add up. 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, you will look back and think, when did my English become this natural?
And the answer will be every day, in small ways, quietly, consistently. It became yours. Before we give you the challenge, I want to say something honest.
Go ahead.
The hardest part of practicing alone is not the methods. It is the belief that it counts, that talking to a mirror counts, that recording yourself counts, that narrating your grocery shopping counts.
Because it feels too small, too informal, too unofficial.
But language does not care about official. Language cares about repetition, about use, about the number of times your brain hears something and produces something. And alone practice gives you thousands of those repetitions, every single day.
I became a better English speaker in my kitchen than I did in any classroom.
And that is not a criticism of classrooms. Classrooms are valuable, but the kitchen, the commute, the mirror, the phone recording, these are available every single day, for free, for as long as you want.
You have everything you need right now where you are.
The only thing that needs to change is whether you use it. And now, your challenge. And this time, we want you to choose one method from today and start it tonight. Not next week, not after you finish the video, tonight.
If you like the idea of the mirror, stand in front of it tonight and introduce yourself in English. 2 minutes.
If you prefer recording, press record on your phone tonight and describe your day. Just 2 minutes.
If the role play excites you, choose a scenario. A job interview, a restaurant order, a phone call, and play both parts, alone, out loud.
2 minutes, one method, tonight.
And then leave a comment below. Tell us which method you chose and what happened. Did it feel strange? Did it feel easier than you expected?
Because every comment you leave in English, that is output. That is your speaking muscle getting stronger, even in writing.
Please subscribe to English Flow Podcast, give this episode a like, and share it with someone who has been saying, I want to improve my English, but I have no one to practice with.
Because now they do have someone. They have themselves. And as we showed today, that is more than enough.
More than enough, and more powerful than they think.
You are your own best speaking partner. Start tonight.
I'm William.
And I'm Sarah.
Keep practicing, keep flowing, keep growing.